I was back in Nashville by this time, and then Mardi Gras was coming up. This is from October to February, and I said, I think I'm going to go get a tattoo, because everybody said, I said, anybody ever got a tattoo? No, nobody had a tattoo back then. And finally I asked this one guy who was in the Navy, I said, he says, nah, it's like a cat scratching you, it's nothing. Well, more like a panther scratching you, but because back in those days they only had one size needle, and it's on your bone, on your head. He didn't know anything about that, and neither did I, because I wasn't a tattoo guy. So I go down to New Orleans just before Mardi Gras, about 10 days before Mardi Gras. And I said, I'm going to be a street performer. We didn't have boom boxes in those days, so my musical juggling was out. I was going to have to make it up right there on the street. And mind you, the state of Tennessee money was gone, and I had to eat or crawl back to Vanderbilt. Oh, please, let me have my old job back. Which I didn't want to do. I wanted to commit. So I go down there with this picture of a butterfly, and I knew exactly the tattoo parlor I was going to go to, which I had seen before. And I walk in there, and there's this kind of tough-looking biker guy, also with a bald head. I go, I'd like to have this done. Now, mind you, just before I had gone down there, I had shaved this, and it was white as could be. Very scary looking. And I go, and I had a hat with like rhinestones and a little feather out the side. And I took it and I said, I want like this on my, right up here. And he just looks up, looks at me, looks at the white head, looks at the butterfly, and he goes, no heads, no hands. And goes back to doing his books. And I just heard, no heads, no hands. You're not going to do it. And she walks up to me, the young black girl, and she goes, did you draw that butterfly? And I said, yes, I did. And she said, I want to be a tattoo artist, and I've never done a head. I'll do it for free if you allow me to put it in my portfolio. I said, sure. So here I'm about to get a tattoo, right? I'm all agreed upon. She says, I'll be ready in about 20 minutes. So I said, okay, I got 20 minutes. So I walk outside, and here I am in New Orleans, and there's a bar right across the street. So I go over to the bar, and I wasn't a drinker. And so I said, I want 5 151 rum and cokes. Lined them all up. And I went, boom, 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 boom. And I said, okay, now I'm ready for a tattoo. So I go back over there. She's got everything lined up. She says, no, I don't want to do the front one because I've never done a head before. I'm going to do one on the back. And I went, oh, okay, wasn't planning on that. But it ended up, so she starts working on the back one. And mind you, when you have your skull, not everybody's going to be able to visualize this, but when that needle hits, it's like not just the stinging, it's the vibration. And after you get 5, and you're not a drinker, 5 151, everything started swirling with it. And there was some pain associated with it. So anyway, I'm lying in this, I'm sitting in this chair, and she's doing, and I'm feeling it, and I still have control of myself. And I said, excuse me for a moment, I'm feeling a little nauseous. I wonder if I could step outside for just a moment. I probably came out more like, listen, can I go out and puke? So I walked outside and I puked in the alley. And then I had this leather jacket on, and I just wiped off my sleeve, and I just went chunk back in, and she started again, just the outline of the butterfly. Well, she didn't even make it through half a butterfly before I ended up throwing up 3 more times, and finally she said, you know, if you really want me to finish this, come back tomorrow morning when you're sober. And all of a sudden I've got a white head with a half of an outline of a butterfly on the back of my head. I'm staying with a Christian family in Slidell who just met me, and in fact I had shaved the head in their bathroom and cleaned up. So they had seen me with hair, nice kid. And then I come back that night drunk. I didn't even know how I got there. I had to have driven my Volkswagen with the butterflies on either side of the doors, which I had painted on, drunk. But I got there, and in the morning at breakfast table, you can't wear a hat at breakfast, they see my head with the half a butterfly on the back, and I kind of went, you know, I just got to go finish this, you know, and they're just like, who is this kid? And I go and back to that tattoo parlor, and she was there, sure enough, and right at opening time, 8 or 9 in the morning, I sat down, and there were other bikers in there getting a tattoo. One I remember getting putting a peacock on his own leg, which was kind of trippy to watch. But they all take one look at me with the butterfly on my head, and it was like instantaneous intrigue, but also, what the hell is that all about, right? And sure enough, in 2 hours for the back butterfly, and an hour to finish the outline, and another hour to color it all in, and then she did the front one, and I was sober the whole time, and it was just like a 3 or 4 hour thing. And after that was over, what she did is she took a little Vaseline and put it on some gauze and stuck it on top of both of them to absorb any blood or whatever oozing. And the colors it was all puffy. I remember it being very, very puffy. And I stuck it on there, and I had the afternoon free.